every website you visit and you are asked to fill in your form, whether you are asked to sign up or you are asked to log in or fill in a normal form just to achieve a task or just to achieve something, that is an HTML form. In our last video, we learned about lists, and the list we programmed was ordered list and unordered list. Today we are going to talk about HTML form. And HTML form is what most people do whenever we visit any website. So we have to sign up, which you know that it is very compulsory before you get into an application or a website, and we have to log in at the same time after signing up our authentication. Now today we are going to experiment this and learn how to write an HTML form. Firstly, I would like to explain what a form really is. Now let's explore and go to our Google to search what a form is before we dive into the real practical. Now let's head to our Google and ask, what is an HTML form? Now, as you can see this, it says an HTML form is a section of a web page designed to collect user inputs and send it to a server for processing. Defined by the wrapper form tag, it acts as an interactive container for gathering data like login credentials, search queries, or registration details. Like I said earlier, it is meant to collect your information for authentication, for you signing up whenever you are signing up or trying to log in into an application or a website just to perform a specific task. Now let's move forward. We are done with that definition there, and let's start the real deal. Now let's try experimenting with this and let's see what it would give us. I would love to just write form and then hit my enter button on my keyboard, but I would not want to do that because it's just like we moving ahead of ourselves. So I'll just want to do it the traditional way, form, and yeah. So now we can see that we have the opening tag and the closing tag of a form, and this is our opening tag, this is our closing tag. And as I have always reminded you guys, I used to tell you that everything that is always in between the opening tag and the closing tag is what shows on the browser, is what our users would always see. This form tag is just something that can affect the form, but is not something that would show on our browser. So now we know that we always have an input field in every authentication, in every sign up that you have. And let me give you an example of the input field I'm talking about. Let's go to Google. I'm just going to come here. Yeah, so this is an example. Now, as you can see, this is an example of an input field, right? So in our form, in our code, the form is holding this username and the password input together. So in our code, we would firstly have a form here, which is what we already have. So this is encapsulated inside our opening form and our closing form, as you can see here. So now we are going to create this. This is called label. The username, this text that you can see here, is called label, and this is called the input. Now let's try it on our code and let's see how it would come out on our browser. Right here, I'm going to type in label, the label I just explained to you. So let's do this, label. Yeah, so it has created the opening tag for label and the closing tag for label, and inside here we are just going to write in this that I just showed you, username, right? So let's do that. So I'm going to just scroll down and check. Oh, sorry, I forgot to add our HR. So let me just do that, just to give a demarcation of what we are about to do. And in fact, I think I'm just going to give it a HTML form. Yeah, so yeah, now let's continue this. Now can you see that we already have the label of our username, right? Inside this same label we are going to create, sorry, inside this same form we are going to create our input. Now let's type in our input. Now can you see that it has reflected here? Now we have the label, which indicates that we are about to type in our username, and this input is the field where we are going to type our username. Do you see? I'm sure it is beginning to make sense to you all, because it is what you see almost every time. Inside a normal form, paper form, you see it every day. So now, but this is very, very different from a paper form. This is a website form. And can you see that it is giving us, we can type as much as we can, as much as we want. Can you see that we can type? But we have to specify what we want to type inside, what we want this our input form to accommodate, to expect from our user. And that is where this attribute comes in. Type, the type attribute. Right now in our input there are a lot. Can you see that VS Code had already brought out everything required, everything you might want to put as your input type, right? So our input type can accommodate text, it can accommodate number, it can accommodate email, it can accommodate date, depending on whatever you want to put there. But you have to just choose one and nothing more. Now we are going to just move on with our text for now. So I have added text inside the quotes, as you can see on my screen, and what we are going to see is text. If I type in number here, it means that this input field is expecting you, can you see this sign, is expecting a number, not text. So whatever, see right now I'm typing my text and it's not even reflecting in that field. But if I should type 1, can you see that it is reflecting? If I should type 2, can you see that it is actually reflecting? And if I should use this arrow, the number type created for me in this field, it is going to, can you see now that it is giving -1, -2? And if I should can you see I'm clicking on the arrow icon and it is giving me a positive sign. If I should click on the lower icon, it's giving me a negative sign. Can you see that? So that is how it works. I might decide to come here and change it again to email. Let's try that. Though our VS Code would already give you all of this as an option, let's try that again. If I should type in my type, can you see this? It has given me an options of what I might need. Can you see that? So we have submit, we have telephone, which is number, we have text, we have time, we have URL, we have week, we have button, we have checkbox. But I should try this checkbox now. Can you see that it has changed to a checkbox and I can actually check it? Can you see that? So that is the importance of an input type. So we know that it is something we have always seen in a form or in an authentication field, whereby we see checkboxes, right? If I should type in email, my input field would always expect me to type in an email address. Now let me just write in something. At Gmail or info.wisra@gmail.com. It would be, this is what our form, my input field, would be expecting me to fill in. Now when you get to an advanced stage, once you want to further your input and you've moved away from this aspect, the email aspect, and what you chose in your code is actually email, and you are not giving it the email requirements, you are not giving it the @sign, and then what would follow it is going to flag, is going to complain. Your browser would complain that no, you have to you have to type in an email address. It's going to give you a warning to type in an email address. So that is the importance of an input field. Let's move forward. Let's proceed. Now let's try to add another field. Let's say let's just say what do we have here? Let's check. So we have password, right? So let's just give it password, and let's create another label, and we are going to give it password, and we are going to create another input and call it let me create an input field of. Now we have all of this. Now is giving me an option of what I really want my input to be, right? So I'm just going to scroll down because we are looking for an input of password, right? So I'm just going to look for password, and here it is. We can see our input type here of password. Now I'm going to click on this, and it had already typed it in for me as my password input field, input type. Right now, there is one important thing I want you guys to know, which is very, very important. Our label field, our label should be connected to our input. Can you see that nothing is differentiating it, and it is still on a straight line here in our browser, right? But we need something to connect this label and our input together, just for them to recognize each other and know that they are for each other. But right now there's nothing linking them together, there's nothing connecting them together. They are just like that, and I can easily bring this input field of password. I can easily bring it down here and take this input field of text and bring it down here to the password. Can you see that it does not really make sense, because their types are different. We are talking about username here in our label, and the type is password, and we are also talking about a password in our label here, but the type here is text. So they are really different, but we need them to be connected to each other so that they can recognize each other. So I'm just going to click on my Ctrl Z just to take us back to what we were doing before. Now how we are going to connect it now is this. In our label tag, we are just going to start with four attributes. That is for our label tag. And what we are going to have here, so our the name given in your for label is what you are also going to bring in your attributes, in your ID attributes given in your input. Now let's try this. In my username label, the for name I'm going to give it should be let's look at what we can give. Let's just call it username. Just username. We don't want to pivot, right? Username, and here input type. Let's give it an ID of username in our input as well. So this already is connecting both together, because now they can recognize each other, that they are having the same attribute, the same name given their attribute. Now the label is saying username, it is for username, and in our input the ID is as well talking about username. So it has already, these two names has already connected them together. But if you should change one of these names and give it, let's say, just name, they are not going to recognize each other. They are already distorted as it is. But if you should just give it, make it consistent and just give it username, can you see that they are going to connect as it is? And now we are going to do the same thing for our password. Now let's do that. We are going to type in for and then give it password. Though it's not compulsory for you to give it that password name, but we can just make sure they are the same name. So, but we are doing this, we are giving it password and username just because it is what is in our content, and we don't want to divert what we are. I don't want it to be confusing for ourselves or other people reading your code. Other people come to your code and they can see, they are seeing a difference in names. That would be confusing. So you don't want your code to look confusing, and at the same time you don't want your users to feel confused at the same time. So you just have to make everything consistent. So let's password, and in our ID I would also write password. So this is how they can feel connected to each other. right now, you might not know the importance of this now, but when we move further, there are some places you would know the importance of connecting both the label and the input together. Now, as I have taught you guys earlier, you guys could remember our previous video. In our previous video, we talked about break, right? The break tag. So I'm just going to give this. We can actually start the break here, but I wouldn't want to do that, right? Because it would look very confusing, and I don't want that. So because I had already given it a break, and it has already broken the two input field, right? But I want it to be organized. I don't want it to be distorted. So what I'm just going to do now, I want my code to be very clean and easier to read. So can you see now? So I've given it space in my code, but they are still giving me the same result. So instead, I want this to have space. They are too closer to each other. So I'm just going to create another BR, and then yeah, can you see that they are now giving the breathing space I want? And if you should look at this, it is exactly what we are seeing here. The only thing that is left is we did not add a colon, and I'm going to do that now. So can you see that we already have what is in here? As you can see that now? And if you also wish to, okay, still not close. Okay, now let's give this to a break as well. So I'm just going to put my break here because these are together, and I would not want to do it this same way. So I'm just going to create my BR beside this. And now can you see that the input field is now below the label? I'm going to do the same thing for this one, for the password. And here we have it. Can you see that? So it is now looking exactly like what we have here. Now we are going to create a submit button for this. Okay, let's do more example before trying our submit button. Let's do more example. Now I'm going to give this a break as well. A BR, another BR, and I'm going to create my label. I'm a label. Yeah, can you see that now? That it had already created my for me. So let's try what field should we try? Let's try email address. So let's say email address. I'm going to give it a colon, and in my for, I'm just going to write email, right? I don't need to put this address. I just need the name to be consistent across both label and field. Now I'm going to create my input field at the same time, and say input. Now it's not going to be text. The type is not going to be text. I'm just going to make it an email, and that is it, right? So I'm going to the type, the type is very, very different from the name and the ID. So I'm just going to give it a name and ID as well, and name it email, just to be consistent with what we have in the label. And then ID should as well be email. And let's add one more thing. I forgot to give this a BR, so let's just give it a BR just to bring the inputs down. BR. And can you see that it's already showing in our browser? Now let's do another input field. So I'm going to give this a BR, another BR, and then label. Let's say should we just give it age? Age. And I'm going to give it cannot reflect yet until we type in something inside between the opening and the closing. Now age. So and we have our label right there. I'm going to give it a colon, a double colon. Now input field of number. We don't have the number already works for the age. So what we are just going to it has already created a number for me, and now I'm going to write number. Should I? No. The name should be age, because we already gave it a label of age at the same time. So now I'm going to give it a BR. Can you see my browser? And now I'm going to give this a BR just to bring it beneath it. And here we have it. Can you see now? Now let me show you another very two common elements. I'm going to create another BR. And now let me show you. It's the first one is a select element, but let's try to create a label first as usual. And I don't know what to use, but let's try course. I hope course makes sense. So let's give it an element, a label of course. Yeah, I think course should make sense. As we can see in our browser, it's already reflecting. And the select label, the select tag. Now we are going to create a select, and the name should be course. Yeah, and then the ID should also be named course. Now in between this select tag, between the select element, we have to drop this down and then create an option. So this option is what is going to give us a drop down. Now, without even typing in the option, without starting the option tag inside the element, can you see that our browser had already recognized what a select element can do? Can you see that now? That it had already brought out the sign of a select icon, of a select field, yes, or a select drop down. Now I'm going to type in option, and this option is where we are going to put in everything we want our drop down to show, in the browser. Now I'm going to type in option, and the option is going to create an open and a close tag as usual. So the value, we are just going to write. Before typing in the value, let's just look at what we want to put in the option. So let's try HTML, right? And I'm just going to now do the same thing in the value. I'll write HTML as well in the value, so that, because any option, all options should have a value attribute. I'm going to create another one and name it CSS, and another one here. I'm going to change the value to CSS as well, and I'm going to duplicate this and give it JavaScript. I'll change this value as well to JavaScript. And here we have it. Now let's come to our browser and look at what it had already created for us. Now can we see it had already created an option, different options of courses in our browser for us under the drop down. Now, if you guys noticed, I showed you something earlier on before I typed in the option. The option is what is actually going to reflect in your in your drop down, in the select. This field is just a select field. Remember that, because if I should remove this option, all of these options encapsulated inside the select, you'll see that there is nothing is going to show inside the select field anymore. It is just empty, simply empty. So you cannot just come here and say, okay, you just want to type in select. Nothing is going to show. And at the same time, you cannot come out here. I'm just going to comment on this. You cannot just come out here and say, let me create it right under it, and just type in your options. It does not really make sense. Can you see that it is coming out of the box? So option cannot be without a select, and a select cannot be without an option if you really want to get your desired result. So to create a drop down, you have to firstly create your select, and then the select is going to just accommodate the option. Now let me uncomment this as and now I'm going to create the option. Can you see now that we can see we have everything completed here, right? So they all work together. The select element works, but you also have to create an option, and that option is what is going to bring as a drop down for you, for all users to select whatever any option they want to. Right now, I can just decide to choose JavaScript and it's going to show down here. I can decide to choose CSS and it's going to show down here. Can you see that now? How select work? This label is just working for this course, as I explained earlier, and I might just decide to give it a BR, and can you see that is now the select option is now beneath our label, right? So let's try another one, which is the second one I told you about. Let's create a text area. As usual, I'm going to create my BR just to give it, just to organize it, right? I'm going to create my label. I'm going to, here let's just say message, and in my for label I'm going to write message. And now in the input, it's not really an input, but most people, mix it up. Most people mix it up and feel like text area and input are the same thing, but they are two different things. Let's say text area. Message and then message, like I said, just to connect them both. And now inside this, before typing in anything, can you see what it is already giving me? Now I want you to see something clearly. Text area, can you see now that text area is so very different from input? Look at the shape input is giving, and it cannot be expanded. It is just what it is fixed. It is what you give it. That is the same thing is going to, it's going to reciprocate. But in text area, it had already given you a larger space initially by default. It has given you a larger space. You can as well try to expand it, and it can expand based on how the user inputs, how large or how numerous the message is. So if the user tried to type in a whole lot of things, it would expand based on what the user is typing. So I'm just going to write a lorem ipsum. I don't know what to type, but let's try it here. I don't know. Let's see. Lorem 30. And let's see, I'm not sure. Yeah. So can you see now that we have a whole lot inside of this? And now if I expand it, it is showing me a lot. Can you see that? It is showing me a lot. So it expands based on what the user has written. But this is a very wrong way of writing it. I'm just showing you guys how much it can spread, right? Normally nothing should be written in a text area as a developer. Nothing should be written there by the developer in the code, because you don't know what the user is about to type in. It's the user that is going to write in whatever they wish to write as a message inside the text area. So I'm just using this as an example. Don't get confused. And here I'm just going to give it a BR as usual, just to bring it down. And this message, I'm going to give it a double colon. And here we have it. Can you see now that we have all of this? So now we've talked about the username, label, and then the input, the normal input, the text input. We talked about, which we have here, that is just going to bring it down. Yeah. So our username has a text input of an input type of text. Our password has an input type of password. Our email has an input type of email, and our age has an input type of number. While here in our select, our courses has a select tag, a select element that can select, that can show you options of what the user is going to choose or possibly will choose. And then we have a message that has a text area and a wider one at that, not the same thing as the input. Can you see? Not the same thing as the input. The text area shows that it can accommodate a large text. It can accommodate numerous messages. Here now in the message text area, as a developer, you can as well try to, give this a fixed and wider space. You already assume that your user is going to type in a lot of things in the text area, so you can just give it a fixed amount, but the fixed amount is still going to show a scroll sign just to scroll down to check through what they've typed in. So now let's give it just a little styling, and let's say rows. I'm just going to give this row 5, and then I'm going to give it colon, which is cols, and let's give it just 40. Now can you see that it had already, based on what I typed in, it had already given me what I required for. Can you see now that the text area has expanded? Now if I decide to change this colon and say 70, it's going to be larger. Can you see that? If I decide to reduce it and say 20, it's going to be smaller. If I decide to just leave it at 40, then we have it there. If I decide to reduce it, it's still going to, no matter how much I try to reduce or increase it, it's going to show the differences between the text area and the inputs. They are two different things. So please don't, I was as well confused while I was learning my own, and now because of my text my trial and error, I found that out. Note, we can see this kind of message text area in somewhere like contact us page, in your contact us page in a website, whereby the company, or rather the website, wants you to contact them. So in that contact us page, you can see something like this, whereby they are giving you users the opportunity to write whatever they want to write and then pass it on to them, as it's going to send to them as an email or something. So that is how websites get feedbacks from their customers or from their users. Now we are going to create a submit button, and we know that a submit button is what takes every of your information that you've imputed inside the imputed inside the form. It's going to send it to the backend. It's going to send it to the owner of the website or the owner of the application, and they are going to get your information, every of your information you've imputed in these fields that they created for you to impute your name, your password, your email, age, and everything. So now that button that sends it, that serves as the messenger, is what we want to create now. Now we are going to give the same input, but the input type is going to be very different now again, and we are now going to input, and now we are going to create input type of button. Can you see now that we have our input type of button? Now I'm going to tap on this, and then we have it here. Now this type, as you can see now, that the type is showing, now it is giving a just like a frame here, showing that there is something we are about to do here. Let me just create a BR for you to understand this better. Now I've created a BR. Let me create another BR, because this is different from submit, is different from other forms. It should be spacious. Yeah. Now this is how we are going. Now anything you put inside this value is what is going to show here. Do you understand? Now let me just say submit, and now we have it. You can decide to give it any name, probably send message. We have it here. Now this value is the one showing as as a message to your users, telling them that, okay, do this. You understand? It's just like a call to action. It is a call to action telling your users to actually do a particular thing, just to send in the informations they've dropped. And the type is creating a space, like I explained earlier while I was explaining this one, that while I was explaining the username, the input, and all. It is what dictates what the input is going to accommodate, it's going to accept from the user. Do you understand? So you can't just type in something. Your input type is actually expecting something specific from your user, and you are the one as a developer to emphasize and to dictate what you want your users to actually do in their input field. And that is the same thing that is happening in the button. I see now that when I created the button here, it gave me this button, but if I change this button to something else, can you see now I've not even given it anything. I've already deleted the button, and it is showing me something like an input, like just an ordinary input, right? And normally input by default shows text. Default input, note that, have that in mind, that your default input is text. So it has already taken, because I did not specify what type of input it is, it has taken this input as an ordinary text. But now if I say button, it will give me the shape of a button. Can you see now that it already gave me the shape of a button? Now I have a button here. So now right now it is still dormant, it is still not active, it is inactive, because I'm not, JavaScript is going to get into it, and CSS to probably change the color to whatever color you want to put to it. But right now we are dealing with HTML, so that is why everything is still bland, and no matter what you type in here, it's just going to show, but it's going nowhere, right? And it's going nowhere because we've not gotten deep. We are still in the basics of our HTML. So we are still in the basics of our web page learning. So this is what we have for now, and this is the button. It's showing you, can you see now that it's showing you that it's a button, because I'm tapping on it and it's showing that I'm tapping on it. But if I come here and I just tap on it, it's showing me that I need to type in something. Can you see that the effects are different? So the power of that is the power of a type input. This type is very, very powerful, because it actually dictates what the user can do. You don't just have to do anything. It dictates what is expected from the user to actually do. So now we have created our call to action, and we are telling our user to send a message. We can as well change this value to I don't know what to use, but let's think of it. Let's say submit your form. Can you see? Or submit info, and then we have it, right? So you can as well just write submit, because that is what most websites uses, submit or send message. So today we've covered a lot. We've covered what a form can do, and we've done username, password, email address, age, course, message, and submit. Now let's give you an assignment. I want you guys to build your own contact form. Include at least a name field, an email field, a message box, and submit button. Drop a comment below when you are done. In our next video, we are putting everything we've learned so far together and building a complete personal page from scratch. So you do not want to miss that one at all. Follow now. See you in the next one. Bye.